Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How to Segment Your Email List in Constant Contact. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to your day here. Now, before we do dive into our session today, I wanted to let you know about all the tools that we have available to get your online marketing on track. We have tools for creating great looking email marketing campaigns, easy to use email automation and welcome emails, list growth tools to help you to grow your list, digital ads for Google, Facebook, and Instagram to help you to find new customers and even build your email list that way. Also, the ability to stay on top of your social media efforts. You can create posts and reply to your social messages as well. We also have our SMS text marketing, which you can add on to your plan in order to expand your marketing reach even further. And also our events platform that will allow you to promote and manage your events and so much more. We have all these great tools, features, and our expert guidance that you need to help you to succeed all in one place. So let's jump into today's session. Now, people often ask us how they can get better results from their email marketing efforts. While there are many factors that can play into this, sending the right messages to the right people is one of the most effective ways. It allows you to create relevant messages that catches each person's attention and encourages them to take the action that you want them to take. Times have really changed when it comes to email marketing. Email blasts to your entire list at once are a thing of the past. In order to get better results and create those relevant messages, segmentation or creating smaller groups of contacts with one or more like commodities is definitely the best way to go. People who receive relevant emails personalized to their interests leads to less unsubscribes, more action, more engagement, and 6 times higher transaction rates. In turn, this allows you to build a relationship so people will be more inclined to keep coming back and doing business with you and even refer you to their family and friends. While the thought of segmenting your list can seem time consuming and overwhelming, there are things that you can do in constant contact that I'm going to be showing you today to help you to save some time in this process. I'm going to be providing you with some tips and ideas for your own segmentation strategy and talk about the tools in your account that you can use to manage your list. If you spend some time now to segment your contact list, your email marketing efforts will be more productive moving forward so you can get those results that you really want to get. So let's take a look and see what we're going to be going over today. So today we're going to be talking about strategies that you can use to manually segment your list based on business needs and contact details, ideas and tips on getting your subscribers to self-segment, and how to automatically create segments based on contact details. Now, throughout the session, I'm going to log into a live constant contact account to show you these tools and how to use them effectively. And before we go any further, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Candy. I'm a personal marketing specialist here with Constant Contact. I've been with the company just over 16 years now. So I've seen it all from the two little products that we started with the plethora of products that we have today. So I'm super excited to bring my experience to the session. So let's get started. First, we're going to get started with taking a look at basic strategies to manually segment based on business needs and contact details. When you're first getting started with segmentation, it's important to have a plan and to figure out a strategy that will make the most sense for your business or your organization and your audience. Remember, it's all about them receiving relevant information that keeps them engaged and taking action. Now, once you've determined your strategy, you can start to split customers into lists that are relevant to them. So let's take a look at a few different types of businesses and the ways that they can segment. For a retail business specifically, there are several effective strategies. You could segment based by the products that they purchased in order to send them out more information about those specific products or to target them when you're having a sale on that product. You could create a group based on the products that they've clicked on in your emails in order to target with specific products as well. Repeat customers could get a separate message from new customers, allowing you to change your message based on how familiar they are with your products. Another great option would be for a group of those who had a recent purchase to send out a quick thank you message and a follow up with additional information. And it's always a good idea to keep in touch with those who are most engaged and make sure that you're reaching out to those who have not been as engaged. That way, you can stay top of mind and make sure your name is out there. Now, when it comes to real estate, some ideas on a segment are based on whether somebody's a buyer, a seller, or a real estate agent to tailor your message or your communication. The timeline in which your clients are looking to purchase is order to target again with specific product properties. Excuse me. The price range somebody's looking to buy for is also a great way to target with specific properties. Geography, where are they looking to buy? And most and least engaged as well in order to adjust your message to stay top of mind and to re engage. For nonprofits, some ideas would be to create groups for all of your volunteers, donors, and even donor level, those interested in your services, like those interested in adoption from a nonprofit animal shelter, for an example, those interested in news and updates and stories about the impact of their donation and the different programs that the nonprofit provides. And like the other industries, it's important to target the most engaged and the least engaged contacts as well to keep people invested based on their interest level. Now, those are some great examples. It might even inspire you if you have a different type of business. Some of the things to think about in your segmentation strategy do include things like demographics, like age, income, or even marital status. You could also segment based on geographic information, which is especially helpful if you do host local events, have different stores or locations, or even service certain areas. You might segment based on the zip code, the city, or even the state. And then last but not least is behaviors and actions that they take from your emails or even your business or your organization, like making a purchase or even donating to your cause. You could segment based on the products or the services that they purchased, how much they purchased, or even their buying or donation frequency. If they've taken action like booking an appointment or making a purchase or making a donation, it's showing you a lot about their interest. Now, you can segment based on this data manually, but I'm also going to be showing you some time saving ways to do it automatically in just a little bit. So now I do want to log into a live constant contact account to show you how to organize your contacts manually using these suggestions. So let me go ahead and jump in here one quick second. Okay, so let's get started by taking a look at the contacts page, and we're going to be adding in contacts from a file. This is going to be the best and most efficient way to get your contacts added with existing data and details that you need to create those segmented groups. So the first thing that we're going to do is come over here and go over to list and segments on the left-hand side. You can start here or you can start up at contacts. Whichever place you start, you can bring those contacts in. So what we'll do for now is we are going to go to just the contacts tab first so I can show you how to bring in that file. So that's just clicking up here. You'll see your contacts page. And then over here on the top right, you're going to see where it says add contact. So I'm going to click on that. When I do that, it gives me a couple of different ways to add in my contacts. So I'm going to choose upload from a file. Now, before I do bring in my file, I want to show you how that file should look. So let me just bring that up here so you can see it. So you can see here that, let me just make that a little bit bigger for y'all. You can see that I have last name, first name, I have email address, I have phone number, I have zip code, I have their birthday, and I have membership status. So the birthday, so I could start doing some birthday automations. And the membership status is unique for me and my business, so I wanted to bring that information in. So you want to make sure that everything is in its own column. So you want to make sure that you don't have the first and last name in one column because if you try to make your emails personalized, you don't want it to say hello Candy Mackie. You want it to say hello Candy. Okay. So just make sure everything is in its own column. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Let's see here. This PC sample contacts. I'm going to just put today's date in here. And today is the 5th. Okay. And then I'm going to save it. Okay, so now we're ready to bring that file in. So I'm just going to come over here and click on upload. And I'm going to bring in my file. And then once I have it, it gives me that green check that says it accepted my file format. So now I'm just going to come over here to the top and go to continue. Now on this page, you want to map your columns. So you want to make sure that everything is correct. Usually it brings it in almost perfect, but there may be some differences. So you do want to give it a good look through to make sure that it's correct. So I have first name is right, last name, the email address. It's telling me to skip this field. Well, I don't want to skip the email address. I need it. So we want to give that, make sure it's not anywhere else. We want to give that a field name. So I'm going to, instead of skip field, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to choose email address. Okay. And then we're going to scroll down. That is the phone number, that's the zip code, it got the birthday, membership status. So this is not a website, it's a custom field. So we need to actually create that custom field. So to do that, I'm going to X out of that website, click on that drop down, and it gives us the option right here to create a custom field because membership status is unique to this particular account. So I'm going to click on create a custom field. When I do that, it does bring in what I had on that header file, which is membership status. And then we need to choose what type of field it is. So if you click on that drop down, it's giving you some options. Well, this is just a single line text, so it's going to stay where it is. And then I'm just going to go to add a field. Now I have all my fields labeled correctly. I'm going to go over here and click on continue. All right, so now we just need to check these things off here, and I do have permission. So I need to say I have permission to bring in my contacts. And I want to select a list to put these contacts in. If you do not, it's just going to put them in a list and it's going to have the list name as your file name. I like to put them in a list because it just makes it so much easier to keep track of. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click in here and put in my list name that I want. So this is my membership list. Now, because I don't have this list in my account yet, it's prompting me to create it. So I'm just going to click on this here, and now it's created. Okay. And we're not going to do any tags or anything like that here. We're just putting them into this membership list. And the last thing that I'm going to do is come on up here and click on import. All right. So now my contacts have been uploaded into my account. And now we have access to these on our contacts page, and any existing contacts are also going to be on this page. We can also create other lists and then move those contacts around to organize them into those segmented groups. So that's what we're going to do now. So in order to create those lists, I'm going to come down here to list and segments. So you could see you could create a list as you're uploading it. But now what I'm going to do is create a bunch of lists ahead of time so that I can start moving my contacts around. So I'm going to come on this page here, and I do want to just look at my list view. I don't want to see anything other than lists. So that's just clicking on here, and I'm just on list. Then I'm going to create new right here. And I'm just going to go through the process of adding in all the lists that I like to have in this account. So create new, and then it gives me what am I creating? I'm creating a list, and then continue. And I need to give my list a name, and then I'm going to save it. Not adding in any contacts. I'm just going to go right back to list here. And I'm just going to go through the process for my other list here. List. And this one, my volunteer opportunity list. Go back. So you have a couple of different ways that you could be getting this ready as you're uploading it or after the fact or before you even put in any. So now I'm going to do that one and my final one. Okay, let me go back to list, create new list. All right. So now I'm going to just change this. So I'm only looking at my list view again. And you can see over here, you can sort them out by date. So this is the most recent, which is today. So you can see all the lists that I just created right here. This is the first one we did with adding in those contacts. So now I have my other list, so I can start to move around people and put them into the list that I want to have them in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to manually move some people into a particular list. So, say that this nonprofit has already added in all their contacts into the account, like we did a minute ago, but we do want to start separating them out into these separate lists that we just created. So, they have a small group of board members that they're going to want to email separately. They're going to get different information than the general population. So, I'm going to move those people into my board member list. So, to do that, I'm going to start with my contacts page here, and I'm going to search for somebody that I know is a board member. So if you look here under contacts, you have name or email, and I'm just going to put my board member's name right here and then enter. Now, when I do that, oop, I spelt it wrong. That would help if I spelt it correctly. All right, let's try that again. All right, so it's bringing me up 8 results for the name of Jack Smith. So I know that Jack Smith, this one here with Pet Adoption Center, is my board member. So all I'm going to do is click on the box to the left. I'm going to go up here to Actions. I'm going to click on Add to List. And in here, I'm going to search for my board member list. So you could either type it in here and it brings it up. Okay, there it is. I select it. Okay, and then I'm going to add them. So it gives you a good look through. So before you hit that add, just make sure it's the right list and add it. So it's always giving you that second before it actually goes in. It's not going to do it automatically. You need to hit that add button. So now I've added Jack Smith into that list. So if I wanted to go back to him and take a peek at him, oh, let me just click on this here. This brings up all of my board members' information. So you can see over here under list membership that he belongs to the general interest list, which is that main list. And now he also belongs to my board member list. Okay. So we can also add in multiple people at one time. So if I come back over here to my list page and I'm going to open up this membership list, so I'm looking at all my contacts, then I am going to change this. I only want to look at my subscribed. So here's all my subscribed contacts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through my list and go, okay, I know this person's a board member, this one's a board member, and board member. So I'm just going to select all that are my board members. So you could do it all at once instead of one by one. And then I'm going to go here to actions, add to list, and I'm going to put them in my board members list and then add them. Now, if I need to remove it, same thing. I could click on this person's name, or the little box to the left of the name, come to actions, remove from list, and remove them from board members and remove. So it's just as easy to take them off as putting them on. All right, so now you could do it multiple different ways, and you could do it for another example. Like you can do the same thing if you know somebody just made a purchase in your store. You could move them into a list for purchase recently, and just grab that contact and move them around. So that's how you could do it manually. Now we could also search by any other additional information that we've uploaded to tag our group of contacts in order to target them. So tags are a way to create a sublist of contacts out of your overall contact list. So you could think of your contact list as a container that can hold a group of contacts together, whereas tags are more like labels that tell you something about your contacts. So in order to do that, I am going to go back over here to my contacts page here. So I'm going to click back on contacts. And right here, I'm just going to get rid of this one. So right here where it says name or email, I am going to click on this here and I'm going to go down to my, see, I want to do cancel. So I'm going to pull up my membership status. So I'm going to click on this here. And then I'm going to come in here and do cancel. So I want to find anybody that has canceled as their membership status. Okay, that's that custom field that we uploaded earlier. So I have 4 people that have a canceled out membership. So what I can do is select them here, and then I'm going to go to my actions tab, and I'm going to add a tag. Now this is very similar with creating that list. Like if it's not already there, we need to create the tag. So if we select in here where it says search tag, if we had them, it's going to show them down here. We would just select it. Since we don't, I'm going to actually come in here and put this one in here. So I need to paste. Where's my paste button? Let me go ahead and copy. I have it already written down. I'm just copying it. There we go. Okay, just took a second to get that button right. Okay, now because I don't already have this, I need to create it new. So I'm going to click on this, and now that tag has been created. And then I'm just going to add the tag. So now I'm adding cancel membership to these four contacts. So if I click on this person to take a look at them, you can see that the tags are right here. So they are tagged with cancel membership. So at some point that I can go ahead and um, send out an email. So I can easily create an email campaign with a promotion for them to renew their membership. And then I can send it out directly to them without worrying that people with an active membership are going to receive it. And I can also exclude a tag when I'm sending out an email if I have a message for contacts with an active membership, for an example. I am going to show you how to send out to tags and segments later on, but that's how you would utilize that field. Now, one last thing that I will mention is if you don't have a lot of information on your contacts yet, in order to set up these lists and these tags, we do have a survey campaign that you could create in your account. Now, the survey allows you to create a questionnaire to send out to your contacts to collect information. You can then use the reports that you get back with those survey results to manually create lists and tags based on whatever information that you collect and add to your contacts information. Now, for more information on surveys and their reporting, you can check out the handout that we have in that Handouts tab on the right hand side of your screen. Now, at this point, you have the knowledge to begin segmenting your list and the know how to do it manually within your Constant Contact account. It's now time to go over that next feature. We're going to move on and talk about things that you can do to save you time and effort by getting your contacts to segment themselves. Now, this is where you can ask your new or existing contacts to choose what information they want to receive and to collect information to help you to segment your list. There's a couple of different methods that we're going to be talking about here. So I like to start at the beginning when somebody first joined your list. So how many of you are currently using a sign up form on your website? Go ahead and let me know in that Q&A tab if you ever sign up form, whether it's a constant contact or any other type of sign up form. Go ahead and let me know that you if you have one or not. All right, let's see here. So Crystal has one, Walter has one, but it's not through constant contact yet. Getting ready to switch it over. Perfect. Let's see. Jocelyn does have one. Abby has one. See, Michael has one. Perfect. See, Todd has one, but not constant contact yet. Okay. Well, as long as you're collecting, that is the important thing. We want to make sure that they're at your website, you're getting their contact so you can market to them. So, yes, it's easier with a constant contact one, but as long as you got it, we're good. So, this is going to be a really perfect opportunity to gain information from your subscribers right when they begin their relationship with you. So, this is where you can ask them what kind of content they want to receive from you. So, in Constant Contact, you can add multiple email lists to your sign up form, and they can choose to sign up to one or all of them, and they're going to automatically be added to those lists within your Constant Contact account without any manual work from you. Now, with this strategy, a retail business could give their prospects the option to choose specific products that they're interested in, what content they want to receive, like sales and promotions versus new product updates. Or if there's multiple locations, they can choose a location that's closest to them. So, in this example, it's an outdoor retailer. They're letting people choose interests such as camping, hiking, kayaking, or skiing. And again, they can choose one or all of them, and it's only one contact. It's only counted as one contact. Now, a real estate agent could allow contacts to indicate whether they're a first time home buyer, buying an investment property, selling, or just looking for news, updates, or even market reports. And a nonprofit could give their supporters the option right from the beginning to indicate whether they're interested in using the services, wanting to donate, receive news and updates, or even just volunteer within the organization. The possibilities are endless. Just remember that you do want to keep your form as short as possible, so only add like 3 or 4 lists for them to choose from. You don't want your sign up process to be overwhelming, and you can always collect more information later on. Now, another great way to learn from your existing subscribers is by paying attention to where they click in your emails. This next suggestion is great because when somebody clicks a link in your email, you know they're interested in that topic, right? So when you implement the click segmentation tool in Constant Contact, the contact will automatically be added to a list that you've chosen right when they click on it. Now, in this example from Southside Cycling, they sent this email out to promote their cycling club to their unsegmented general interest list. They've included a button for people to find out more. And when people click, they're going to be taken on a page on their website with more information on the club. Then behind the scenes, they're going to automatically be added to a cycling club prospect list in the account. Now, this is really valuable information to Southside Cycling because they know that people who are part of a club end up spending more than those who haven't joined yet. And this allows them to begin sending out additional information about the cycling club to this list of contacts to further promote the club. Now, for those of you who don't know how to start segmenting your list or who have a ton of contacts, this is a great opportunity to start segmenting your list without a ton of effort. And click segmentation can be used in a variety of different scenarios. So I'm just curious, how many of you currently send out an email newsletter that includes a few different topics? Go ahead and let me know in that Q&A tab if you send out more than 2 topics or at least 2 topics or more. All right, awesome. So Crystal does. Veronica sends out usually 3 to 4 topics a month in the newsletter. Walter does. Gary sends out more than two. Mary Ellen does. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So this is going to be perfect. Click segmentation is great to implement in this scenario because you can send out your newsletter that includes a link for each topic to read more or to purchase your product or whatever it is. And then when a subscriber clicks on a link, they're going to be added to that particular list without any effort from you. It's already done. Then you can send out focused messages to each of the individual lists. Now, in this particular example, they could send out follow up emails to those interested in website redesign, such as promotions about their web design service and other valuable content on optimizing the client's website. And for those people who click on that, read more on that second article, they could send out additional information just to those people about their social media management service, as well as the benefits of using social media for their small business. Now, one other example is a yoga studio could direct them to a page to sign up for the type of class that they're interested in, along with information on that particular class. Then, behind the scenes, contacts are added into a list for that particular class right when they click on it. The yoga studio can then send out additional supporting information on each of the classes, what to expect, and how to get the most out of the classes that they're interested in. And you could set up something simply to learn more from your audience. You might include links in an email to different topics, products, services, or even classes. Alrighty, so now I'd like to log back into Constant Contact to show you how to set up these self-segmentation strategies tools within the account. So let me go ahead and pull that back up here. All right. So, as we discussed, one effective way to segment them right from the beginning of their relationship with your business or your organization is to create a sign up form with the option for the customers to choose what list they want to be a part of. So, in order to do that, I'm going to come over here on the left hand side on your menu and you're going to be on audience. So, if that's shortened, you just open that up. So, you're looking at your audience. And then you can go in here and click on the growth center. And you can come over here and you could see all the different landing pages. And I'm actually going to click up here. They've changed this around, so I do apologize. This is a new layout here. So 1 second. So I'm actually going to come up here. It used to be right under the audience, so I do apologize, but it's right above here under the channels now. So they've moved it. It's right up here for sign up forms. So I'm just going to click on that link. It'll take me right to where I need to go. They're just keeping me on my toes, that's all. All right, so on this page here, we do see our landing pages that we've created, but I'm going to come over here and click on create a sign up form. So when I do that, it's going to give me the options of what type of sign up form that I want to create. So it has your pop up, your flyout, your banner, your inline. So those are the ones we're going to look at right now. They're all going to be the same in designing them. It's just the placement of where it is on your website. So the one that I want to work on is the pop-up. I want it to be displayed a few seconds after my visitors are on my website. So I'm just going to choose this one here. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do when you're creating forms is you want to name it. So I'm going to click on this pencil up here because you might have like different sign up forms for different times of the year. Maybe you have a seasonal promotion that you want to put on your sign up form. So you want to be able to know which one this is in Constant Contact. So I'm just going to change this up just slightly. I'm just going to keep it pop-up form with today's date. That's all I'm going to do for this one, but you'll change yours to whatever it is that you needed to say. So today is the 5th. So I'm just going to do that and I'm going to save it. Okay, so now my form is labeled and it's named. So when I go back to my sign up forms, instead of saying, like pop up form created on certain dates or blah, 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 it'll say pop up form with holiday special or pop up form summertime, whatever it might be, you're going to give it that name. So this one's done. So what you're going to do is you're going to start making corrections and changes on the left-hand side under the menu. That's going to get put over here on the right-hand side. So in order to change where it says sign up for updates, I'm going to click on title and I'm just going to work my way down the list here. So on the title, instead of just sign up for updates, I want it to be a little bit more, just a little bit better because that's very boring and default and generic. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in here and it's just going to say sign up for updates and news. That's it. Very simple. All right, and then I'm going to put that there. I'm also going to change out my text color. So right now it's showing that it's black, but I want it to be my branding. So I'm going to click on this little color swatch here, and I'm going to add my color branding. So that's that. And that one's done. So then I go to the back arrow. My next one is my description. So this is where I want to get creative and tell them what they're signing up for. So you want to entice them to sign up. It shouldn't just be get news from CGCT webinars in your inbox. That's very boring and that doesn't give me any reason why I should sign up. So you want to add a little bit more information in here, what they're going to get. So I'm going to say sign up to receive more information on the adoption process, volunteer opportunities, and our news. Let us know below to be included on our monthly updates. So right there, I'm telling them they're going to get monthly emails and they can choose what they want to get information on. Okay. You can change your text color if you want. I am going to leave it black, but this is where you would change it. Okay. So you can see how that works. I'm going to leave it black. It pops out on the page. I'm not going to make any edits to it. So that part's done. And I'm going to go back to the arrow here and I'm going to go to my contacts field. Now it's already has the email. That's a given. You have to have that on there. There's no way to change it. It's required. But I want to add a few other pieces of information that I want to collect. So I'm going to make the first name on here and I'm going to make it required. I want to be able to send out personalized emails to my contacts. In order to do that, I want them to give me their first name. Okay. You can collect other information, like maybe I have those multiple locations, so I want to know what's your zip code? Where are you located? Maybe I want their birthday. I want to be able to put that on here, send out some birthday automated emails. The one thing I am going to do is I'm not going to make it all required because you don't want to have too many things required on here. You don't want people to be like, I'm not giving them that information and back out of your form. You can always collect more later. So really all I ever really make required is the first name. Just, if there is something that you really need because it does make a difference, then put it on there. Just try to stay away from making everything required. All right, so that's all I need on my fields. I'm going to go to the back arrow. And then this is the important one, the email list. What do I want them to choose when they sign up? So I'm going to click on this here and I'm going to select my email list. So this is another area, like if you don't already have your list created, like we created them earlier, you can create a list right here. I already have the list that I want on here, so I'm just going to select them. So I want adoption as one, So when you only select one list, as you can see on the form, it's not showing because they don't have any choices. It's just going to put them in that list. As soon as you start adding more, that's when it's going to populate. So then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose newsletter. So there you go. You can see them. And then I'm going to put in, let's see, volunteer opportunities. So I want those three lists on my form. So now you can see that I can choose one of them or all of them. And again, I'm only going to be counted as one contact. So that's done. So then I'm going to go to the back arrow and I'm going to go to my button. And my button is where it says sign up right here. Sign up is fine. I'm going to leave that alone. But if you wanted to change it, you could. I'm going to change my color here, the background color. I'm going to put it to my branding. Okay, so you can see that sign up is the same as my purple up here. So that's all I'm changing there. I'm keeping the white for text color because it pops out for me. So I'm not going to touch that. Then I'm going to go to the back arrow. I'm just working my way down and the background is right here. So if you click on background, the background is this white area. So if I click on that color swatch right there, I can choose to change the background. I am not going to do the background a different color because I think white makes it pop out better. But if you do want to change it, just make sure it's not like this. You want to be able to see your form. So just make sure it's very easily visible to your audience. That's all. So again, I'm leaving it white. I think it looks nice and clean and easy to read. All right, so those are the main content fields that you want to fill out on this form. There's also some other areas that you can look at. For instance, the settings right here. Not going to go over all of this step by step on how to change it, but I do want to briefly discuss what these are. So under timing, you can click on that. And it will come on at 5 seconds as soon as somebody's on my website. This form will pop up 5 seconds after. You can change it from here. I think 5 seconds is a good amount of time, so I'm going to leave that alone. I can also say on exit. So if somebody X's out of that pop up, which I know I always do, if I see it, because I want to look at the website before I sign up, so I always X out. As soon as I leave the page, it's going to pop up again. So I like having that there. And then the frequency, this I want it to come on once a day. I don't want to have it come up every time for like if somebody's coming back and forth looking at my website all day long, I don't want it to keep popping up every time. So I'm just going to do it once a day. But you do have the options right here to change that frequency. All right, so that is fine. And then your constant contact branding. So depending on your account, you might have the ability to remove it. Right here, it's down at the very bottom. I could click on that and it takes it off. So you have that option if it allows you to do it. I personally feel that having it there is beneficial because we do have that strong reputation of permission based only. So if you have that, they know it's coming from constant contact. It could be a very good thing. So you can always test it out and try different ways, but that's how you can add it on there. All right, so now I have my form completely filled out of what I want on here. I'm going to come over here and hit publish. All right, so now that we have this set up, this is something that we're going to want to make sure to add onto our website so that the contacts will be added to those specific lists right from the beginning of the relationship. Now, for more information on the sign up forms and installing them on different websites, you could check out the handout under that handouts tab for additional information on there. All right. So now one other way that contacts can self-segment is through our click segmentation feature. Now, as I mentioned, this will automatically add context to a list when they click on a particular link in your email. So for an example, let's say that Jack's Fitness Studio is sending out an email to their unengaged customers who have canceled out their membership with a link to their website with more information on the membership. Now, with the click segmentation, we can set it up for those people who click to get more information on the membership are going to be added to a list so that we can target those contacts directly since you're interested in the membership. Now, in order to do that, I am going to go back to my marketing channels over here. So if that's closed, you just open that up and I'm going to come over here to email. Now, I've already created a draft email for my fitness studio. So I'm going to click on this one here where it says my fitness studio promotion. All right, so let me just make sure this is not on here. I'm going to remove that. Okay, so this email is enticing people with a cancel membership to renew their membership and get a discount of 15% off. So this button here, the sign up today, We're going to click on that and we're going to link them to the page on my website that has more information on the membership and how to join. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that link. So when I come over here to add the link, I'm going to click on that paperclip. I'm going to choose web page. So it gives you the option of what type of link it is. It's a web page. So it already has my text in there. And I'm going to put my website here. Now this is what we want to click on, enable click segmentation. So I'm going to select that. So I could either choose from one of my lists that I already have or create a list. Again, another opportunity to create a list. So this one, I'm going to call it interested in membership. So I'm just going to copy that. All right, so I'm going to put this one here. Now I'm just going to click on create and then it's here. Okay. Then I'm just going to insert it. Now this button is automatically linked to that particular list, which is now under my contacts page, under my list page with my all my list in there. Now, these strategies are going to allow you to segment your list without a ton of effort from you, and you can set each of these up in just a few minutes, right? And when you add lists to your sign up form, people who automatically click on it to be added to a particular list that they choose. Now, these forms can also be used to collect other details that will allow you to segment your list. You could collect information through standard fields, or you could create your own custom fields like we did with the membership status. Those are all custom fields. Now, also make sure to implement that segmentation tool. Where contacts click in an email is such valuable information to either begin segmenting your contacts or to further segment your email list if you've been doing it for a while. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the next way here. One second. So now we're ready to move on and talk about using your contact details to automatically segment. So today I've shown you several ways to segment your list to get better results, doing it manually, and even getting your subscribers to segment themselves. Now, as you're sending out more emails through your account, you're collecting even more data that can be used to segment your list. And that's where this next tool comes into play. So with the segments tool in your account, you're going to be able to find pre-built segments like your most engaged and your least engaged contacts. And this is great for targeting the specific groups. Now, for example, your most engaged, you want to treat those people like your VIP people, right? Your very important list. And for the least engaged segment, you want to send out re-engagement campaigns to them. Now, in addition, you're going to be able to create customized groups of contacts using campaign engagement, contact information, list membership, and even purchase data from integrations such as Shopify, WooCommerce, and so forth. Now, the best part is that the segments that you create through this tool will automatically update each time. So you don't ever have to worry about updating those lists. So I am going to log back into a live constant contact account to show you how to manage this and to segment those lists. All right, and I do see a question coming through from Abby. Let me just bring up the account here. Okay, so Abby's asking if I'm sending out an email and I select multiple email lists to send it out to, will people who are on multiple lists get more than one email? No, Abby, they will not, which is fantastic. Our system does recognize duplicates, so you don't ever have to worry about that. So I could be in all 10 of your lists and you send them out your emails out to all 10 lists, I'm only going to get it once. But that's an awesome question. So thank you so much for asking that one, Abby. All right. So now I'm going to show you how to do the segment tool in here. So I'm going to go back to my contacts tab over here on the left. Now, the segment tool in Constant Contact is a great way to manage existing contacts based on different criteria and activity. So let's say we want to do a few email campaigns targeting some of our most engaged customers. So one option we have to work with is a pre-built segment of people who've been engaging in our recent campaigns. So let me come over here and click on segments so you can see them. Hold on, my mouse is not doing what I want it to do. Okay, sorry, it's acting up here. All right, so I'm going to go to segments over here. So what we're going to do is if I click on create a new right here and go to segment and go to continue, it's going to show me certain segments that I can do. I'm going to create my own segment. I don't want to use the pre-built ones. Basically, because the pre-built ones, because there's so many different changes with Apple and the technology automatically open up things, those pre-built ones may or may not be as accurate. So you always want to try to go in here and create your own. You can use the pre-built ones as like a starting point, as a baseline, but I like to create my own and put more criteria in there. So to do that, I'm going to name this one up here. So I'm on my segment. I'm going to name it. So for this one, I'm going to call it VIP contacts. And I'm going to create a segment for my very engaged people who are opening up my emails. So VIP contacts, and I'm just going to put today's date. All right, so now I've named my segment. I'm going to click on OK. And then I'm going to start building this segment. So when I click on add a criteria right here, I'm going to say I want my contact profile. And let's see, I'm going to choose, I want to know anybody that is in Massachusetts. So I'm just starting down the list here. So I want to go to home state and I'm going to choose, let's see, starts with. Now I want to know for Massachusetts. So I don't know if I wrote MA, MASS, or I wrote Massachusetts. So I'm just going to say it starts with MA. Okay. So that's one thing I have. Then I'm going to add another criteria group. So I'm going to click on that. Now I'm going to add email activity. And I'm going to say opened. Now it says choose operator. So when you click on that drop down, it gives me a specific email, any email, or any of your last 5 emails. I'm going to say any email. And then it gives you between or in the last. I'm going to choose in the last, but if you're on between, you just put in the time range that you want. So maybe you want it from like April 1st to July 21st. You can choose that. For me, I'm going to say in the last, and then I choose from the drop down, and I'm going to say last year. Okay. And then I'm going to add another criteria. And I want to know what list they belong to. So I'm going to click on list membership and then list membership over here. And then choose an operator again. And I'm going to say is, and then I'm going to select the list that I want the information to grab this data from. So I'm going to say this one here. And that's the criteria that I want. So I want to bring in anybody that opened up any of my emails in the last year. They belong to my new master contact list and they live in Massachusetts. Okay. So that's what this is telling me. Now, one thing I do want to point out is if I go to add a criteria group, this is where you can add your like shopping activity. So if you have like Shopify, for instance, you could click on this as long as you have it integrated. You can then say, I want to know how many numbers of orders a particular group placed. So I could click on that or total spent. So you can get all that detailed information in here as well. Now I don't have that information, so I'm not going to do that. But that's how you could use the shopping stores in here, the shopping activity. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and close out of that one because I don't want that. So all I have are these three fields in here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and save and create my segment. So when I do that, I'm just saving that segment. It may take a moment, so I'm going to let this do its thing. You can navigate away from here. So I'm going to navigate away and I'm going to show you how to send out your email to a segmented list or um, your contacts, like for the tags that we have on earlier. So I'm going to go back to that email so I can show you how to set that up. So if I come over here to emails, I'm going to work on that draft that I was doing earlier about my club and the membership, the the promotional membership status here. So if I click on this, and then my email is done, I've done a preview, everything is good to go, and I'm ready to send it out to my groups. So I'm going to come over here to continue, excuse me. All right, so now it's bringing up this information on what I want to do. So I'm going to say schedule it for later. I'm going to say, let's see, I'll do 1:30 today is fine. Now under list, I have list option selected. If I'm going to send it out to a tag, I need to select a list first. So I'm just going to click on here and I'm going to choose what list. So I'm going to go to my, let's see, hold on, my membership list. So I'm going to select that one. And then I'm going to narrow it by tag. So if I click on this filter by tag here, I'm going to send only to contacts who are also tagged with, and I click in here and I'm going to choose cancel membership. I've already created that tag that's on those 4 contacts. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to apply that filter. So you can see here, because remember from earlier, we had 4 contacts with a canceled membership. So now it's going to send this email just to those people. Now, another thing, let me go ahead and clear this. If I type in this and I go select all, so I'm selecting all my list, I can still tag it down here to only send to cancel membership and apply that filter. So again, I selected all like 15 or 21 on my list, but I only have 4 people that have a cancel membership. So it doesn't matter how you do it, it's pulling it by that tag. You just have to have a list selected. All right, so now if you wanted to send it out to a segment, you don't need to select a list. So let me go ahead and deselect this. I'm going to select segment. Now, when you select segment, I'm going to select from this drop down what segment I want to do. So it brings up all the segments that I have. And it also has the pre-built ones down here. Okay. But I'm going to choose the VIP contacts that I did from today's date. So I'm going to select that segment and then you would just schedule it out. So when I'm doing that segment, I don't need to pick a list. I'm just going to my segment and it's telling me for my segment with that criteria, there's just 2 contacts. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Using your existing data to automatically create your targeted groups with our segments tool is another great way to get started with segmentation. Now, as I mentioned, make sure to add all your existing data that you have into your contacts and take advantage of the segmentations tools and tags to get started with your targeted marketing right away. Now, your constant contact plan does determine which of these features you have access to in your account. Now, in order to see a breakdown of your plan to either upgrade or downgrade, all you need to do is click on your name up here. So let me close out of here for you. And you're going to click on, yes, I'm confirming it. Up here where it has your name, you're going to click on that drop down and then you're going to go to plans and pricing and it will show you what you have access to. And that's also going to be in the handout, so you can check that out there as well. All right, so now I'm going to go back into the presentation and start to wrap up here. Okay, so now before we wrap up, I do want to just like to summarize what we've discussed and address one common question that we often get asked, which is what's the difference between lists, tags, and segments? While they all allow you to create groups of contacts, they are different and can be used differently. So at a minimum, you're going to need to add your contacts into at least one list. So you could think of your list as a container holding your separate groups of contacts. There's something that you manually create either when you're uploading or on the contacts page when you organize them after they've been uploaded, as we did earlier, right? And lists are also connected with your sign up forms and can be public facing if you're giving your contacts the option of what list that they want to be a part of and what do they want to add themselves to. So just make sure that it's capitalization and it looks good for the public. And when sending out an email, you can send to one or more lists at a time. And as I mentioned earlier, if somebody is on more than one list, they are only going to get that email once. Now, if you want to create subgroups for the contacts in these lists, that's where tags and segments are going to come into play. So, tags are subgroups that you manually create. You could think of them as a label for that subgroup of contacts. And you could tag groups based on contact details that you uploaded or anything else that you know about the customer. They are only seen internally, and customers cannot tag themselves from a sign up form. It's all something that you manage in the back end of the account. Now, as we just saw, when sending out an email, you can either narrow by tag or exclude a tag from that send. So if a sporting goods store wants to have, or excuse me, they have a big list of all their current customers in one big list, right? They have them all in one, but they want to identify the types of sports that they're interested in. They could create tags for soccer, football, baseball, hockey, etc. And when they're sending out an email, they can narrow by tag if they're having a big sale on just baseball equipment, for an example. Or they can exclude a tag if they're having a big promotion to everything but baseball. They want to leave them out. Now, segments, on the other hand, take less manual work and allow you to create groups based on multiple types of criteria. including contact activity, which is determined for you automatically. Now, as we just saw in the demo, you don't need to go through your contacts one by one to find out who's been engaging with your emails and who hasn't. It can create a group of people who haven't clicked in an email in the past year, for an example. The only manual work that you need to do to create these segments is to indicate what criteria that you want to segment by. And when sending out an email to a segment, you don't need to select a list at all. You send directly to the segment, and you can only send to one segment at a time. Also, the segment does refresh automatically before sending out an email, so you never need to manually make any updates if a contact ends up taking a different action that what you specified in that criteria. Like if you had did not open in the last year, then all of a sudden they opened up an email before you sent that, they're not going to be in that list anymore. Okay. Now that I've answered that most common question, I want to start to wrap up so that I can get to any other questions that y'all might have. So, before we do, I want to recap a few items here. Now, it's important to start by determining the types of topics of relevant emails that you need to send out. This will help you to determine which segmentation strategy that you're going to want to use. And this will help to ensure that you're sending information that keeps people engaged and taking action from your emails. Next, make sure you implement the self segmentation options that we mentioned today. These are going to save you time and allow you to collect information that helps with your segmentation. And remember, you can use lists on your form to allow people to choose the type of content they want to receive right from the beginning of the relationship with you. And you can use click segmentation in your emails because when people click on a link, you know they're interested in that topic, product, or that service. And the last thing I want you to remember is that all the data that you collect in the self segmentation options and over time with your emails is going to really help you to improve your strategy. That segment tool within Constant Contact allows you to combine pieces of information to create the right groups that you can target with the right information. Now, don't forget, we are here to help you. So, whether you need help putting together your marketing plan with an expert, coming up with content, list growth strategies, or just need somebody to do the work for you, we have marketing services that can be personalized to fit your needs and your goals. Your dedicated marketing expert will make it easy for you throughout the account setup process and beyond as they work with you to strategize, to develop, and implement a successful marketing plan. Now, rates do start as low as just $60 a month. I'm going to go ahead and share a link in here. Let's see, I'm going to put that right at the top here. Now, on our website, under the professional services section, you'll be able to see the different plans that we have. And then from there, you can schedule a free service consultation to determine which level of service is right for you. All right. So please keep in mind that I have a lot of people joining us today, and I'm going to do my very best to answer all your questions. If I'm not able to answer your question, I'm going to be going over some different resources that we have available to be able to look for that and how you can contact our support team as well, which I will talk about in just a moment. But let's see these questions that you all have here. One second. Saw some pop up here. Okay, so Walter wants to know, how do I add contacts if I don't have a spreadsheet or if I just want to add a few at a time? Can I do that? Absolutely. So let me go back into the account. I'm going to show you how you can add that in there. So I'm going to come over here, open this page up, and I'm going to go right to my contacts tab. So when you're on your contacts tab, what you're going to do, or what I recommend, is when you come over here and click on add contacts, it gives you some options here. Well, we did this one earlier, which is from a file, but now I want to do multiple contacts. So if you're adding in more than one, this is the best one to use. So if I click on that, this one here, this page looks very similar to an Excel file, so you can just start putting in a whole bunch in here and you can add more as you're going. You can also manage your field, so you can add some different criteria in here. So say if I click on manage field and maybe I want to know their birthday, so I can select it. Maybe I want to know, let's see, their membership status. So I'm going to put that in there. Or if I want more custom fields, I can add those in here as well. But it gives you the opportunity to add more data. Now, if you just did this one, you're just putting their first name and their email. So I like this one here because you can get more of that data in here. So I would use this one. All right, so that's a great question here. Let's see if there's any other ones. Okay, so let me see. And let's see, Mary Ellen wants to know, if I deleted contact, can I add them back in? Yes. You can, but as long as you don't unsubscribe them. If you just delete the contact, you could certainly add them back in. Let me just show you really quickly what I mean by that. So if I come back over here to contacts, yes, leave. I know I'm not doing anything there. So if you, let me just close out of here. All my contacts here. So say I want to delete this contact here. So when I do that and I go to actions and I can do delete, gives me this option here. You're about to delete them from your all list in your account. Then I would say yes, delete them. If you're doing an unsubscribe, you can do a permanent unsubscribe. This is deleting them. You can add them back in. The unsubscribe is if you were to click on the contact and then come up here to these three dots. Here's your option. This may be better to do this right from the beginning because then you can see both options here. You can either unsubscribe it or delete it right from here. So unsubscribe is a permanent removal, whereas deleting contacts, just deleting them. You don't want to send to them anymore, um, but you can always add them back in later. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start to wrap up because I don't see any more questions, but I will leave that questions window open. So if you do have a question, please let me know. All right. So now I want to let everybody know about our upcoming webinar. Let me go ahead and bring that back up here. Our next webinar is getting started with text messaging in Constant Contact. Now, this session goes through all the information that you need to set up and get started with your SMS text marketing. I'm going to also add that in here. Let me go ahead and put that in here so you can check that out. All right. So now, as you're wrapping up, I do want to ensure that you have all the resources that you might need as you're getting started with your marketing with Constant Contact. So, if you have any questions about the topics that we discussed in today's session, or you want further guidance as you're getting started, we do have a lot of resources to help you out. Now, I am going to include that link in the follow up email along with the handout and the recording. But you can also check out our new customer hub at constantcontact.com/get started to find quick video tutorials, our on-demand courses, more live webinars, and a link to ask our trainer, which is a live drop-in sessions for instant answers and guidance. And you can also access our help link at the top right of your account to find even more resources, such as our full knowledge base of our FAQs, our guides, our tutorials, and also find ways that you can contact our support team right from that page as well. Now, we'd also would love to get your feedback. So when you close out of the webinar today, you're going to see a very short survey. I think it's only 3 questions long. If you wouldn't mind, please take a few moments to share your feedback with us. We greatly appreciate it. And I do want to thank you all for joining today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day here and hope to see you in the next webinar. Take care, everybody. Bye now.